Hi everyone, welcome back, and I hope that you had time to submit all of your drawings from the last video. We're doing something really cool this time. This time we are going to draw an Among Us character. And we're not just going to draw the Among Us character, we are going to color the Among Us character. But we're not going to just do any drawing and coloring of the Among Us character. We're going to make it look super cool by creating some really dynamic and interesting shades so that it looks more three-dimensional, just like the video game. So, why don't we just dive in and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I think this is super neat because you can see the same drawing that I'm following along with right on the screen somewhere right there. So I'm actually going to do a lime green character because I really like the lime green character. And you can do whatever color character you want because all you have to make sure is if you see on the red Among Us character, if I can line this up, you just need to make sure that you have a nice dark color, a light version of the same color, and then for the window, it's just kind of this blue and gray. I'm going to use a lime green, a little bit of a darker green to create the shadow. And then I don't really have the right gray-blue colors for the glass of the mask. So I'm just going to use these kind of blue colors, and I'm going to hope that that works just well enough. If you look at the Among Us character, kind of, yes, red is a little bit of an oval shape, but really, it almost goes straight down like that. It curves in a little bit here. And then the little foot, like that. And that goes up. And then we'll do the other leg, which goes slightly behind the little belly. Like that. And then we're going to have the front of our body go like that. And then we'll have the top of the head, which is a little bit kind of flat, but still a curve. And then it goes like that. And then we have our window so that the Among Us character can see out the window. And I don't think I did that perfectly. So I'm going to go back after I get some marks down. I'm just going to fix that. Like this. Because see, the window kind of curves down a little bit when it comes out of here and curves back in like that. So then we have it going like that. And maybe this forehead comes out just a little bit more. We can erase that first line that we made. That's what I love about drawing, is that you can make mistakes and then fix them really easily. Okay, so then we go like that. Ta-da! But we're missing something, aren't we? Now, I don't know what this is. I think it's a backpack. I'm pretty sure it's a backpack. It's not an arm, because I don't think they have arms until, you know, they're the imposter. But this is a backpack, I believe. And so we're just going to draw our little backpack. Doesn't go all the way down. Kind of curves a little bit. Little bit. Like that. Erase some of the mistakes and fix it. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but pretty close. Now, I'm seeing that maybe the top of the head is a little bit more like this. So I'm going to make that fix as well. Like that. Just a little bit. It doesn't need to be exactly the same as the main drawing. So, next I am going to color it. Now, last video we outlined before any coloring got done, but with this video we're going to color first so that when we outline, it's going to actually cover up any little tiny mistakes that we make. If we color outside the lines or anything like that, okay? Next, I have a real lime green and a slightly darker green because I'm going to do my character as a green one. So if we look at the Among Us character, we know that maybe I'll just do a little bit of a pencil mark, just very lightly, because I know that this part of here is lighter and this part here is darker, right? And it's the same for right here. So I'm going to make a nice, almost U shape, right like this. So we get the belly in there, and then it kind of swoops up toward the front of the body, and then that part here is dark, all under here in the legs, and then this part here is light. Then I'm going to do the same thing in my glass window. Like that. And then we have a big spot that we definitely don't want to color because we want to keep this part white because it's the shiniest part. The shiniest part is going to be white. I'm going to start with my darker color. And I'm going to follow the pencil line that I just made. And that's going to cover up and make sure that all of my pencil marks are covered up by the darker color. And then you won't see it as much. Or maybe you won't see it at all, depending on which color you're using, right? And then I'm also going to, as if we were doing it in black, outline all the parts that I'm coloring with this darker color. Being very careful not to accidentally use this color to trace the top part where it's going to be the lighter color. Now I'm going to grab my lighter color and I'm going to trace this part to make sure that I remember that that part is going to be my lighter part. I'm going to do that same thing with the rest of the body. Like that. I love this color. It's so bright. Then I'm going to take the colors for the glass that I picked. And I'm going to use the darker color first to trace the dark. This is pretty dark. So it might not have been perfect for this color, this window. But again, it's going to look pretty cool, I think, still. And it doesn't need to be exactly the same. So I'm actually going to trace around that so I don't accidentally color in there. I don't want to color this. This part's going to stay white, okay? And I'm going to go like that. And then I'm going to go like that. Great. So now that we've mapped out all the places we're going to put our color, I'm going to go back to the start with my darker green. I like to plan things out so that I don't make mistakes. So that's why I did all of that. So now I'm just coloring all of this part, the darker green. On camera, it kind of looks like a little bit of a different color. It looks almost bluish, but it's much greener in real life. But on the camera, it's a bit different. Oh, and this one's much lighter as well, so it kind of looks better on camera. Oh, oh well. Now I'm going to take my light green and I'm going to color in all of the parts that are light. And this is the really cool part. So I'm going to take my lighter green and I'm actually going to color all this darker green. And that's going to make it look more like a shadow. See how that changed the color just a little tiny bit? This one looks a little bit more blue. This one looks a little bit more lime green now. So I'm going to color all of the darker part over top of it. Now you want to go lightly because your paper starts to get pretty wet with these markers. If you color too much in the same spot, it starts to rip the paper. See that? I made a little mistake, but you can kind of see it. I colored outside the line, but it will be covered up once I when I put the outline on, it'll be all covered up. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to take my darker shadow for the glass. I'm going to color that in. Gonna take the lighter color for the glass and I'll color that in. And then I did the same thing and I put all of that lighter color onto the dark part. That is our Among Us character. And it's going to look a million times better as soon as we put the black outline on it. Because that's what's going to make it pop. Okay? Now my markers are a little bit wet on the page, so I'm just going to let it dry. Woo! Now I have a black Crayola marker, and I'm going to go on all of my outlines. Now I'm going to remember that I don't want to do the outlines that I did for the shadow, right? So I'm only going wherever the outline is on the character here on the side of the screen, which I cannot figure out how to point to. Right there. Then those are the lines that we're going to do. So we'll do this one around the backpack. That already looks so much cooler. Now we're going to go through there though, because we're separating the body from the backpack. All the way down to the foot and up. Now we got to get that belly in there. So it goes a little bit in front of the other leg. And then we go like that and like that. Then we want to get the forehead in there. Okay. Now we're going to go around the window. Like that. That looks so much cooler. Whenever I draw, I think that it looks so much cooler once I've done the outline. Don't you? So that's how you do some cool shading for an Among Us character. You can make the lines a bit thicker if you want, just like the Red Among Us character that we have right here. But I kind of think I like that one. I like the way that this is right now. So I'm excited to see what you've come up with. Maybe you've drawn all of the Among Us characters. Maybe you've drawn the whole rainbow of them. And I can't wait to see what you've come up with. Maybe you've put them in outer space or in the background. You have the spaceship, or maybe they're doing something. Maybe they're doing their tasks. So I can't wait to see what you come up with. Please send me your drawings. Please comment below and tell me what you think of my Among Us character and what other kinds of characters you would like to see maybe in the future. And I hope that you tune in next time for our next drawing in our drawing series.